I think Cleveland ends up winning 4-1, 4-2.
I think Cleveland does win also. Like I said, I'm not a huge LeBron fan. He is the best player in basketball right now.
Okay, yeah.
In the league today, hands down. So I'm not going to count him out over, one game. And he still played really well. Like you said, his supporting cast didn't show up.
Right.
So we'll move on here. The 1-8 matchup in the West. The Rockets win 104-101 in what is a game that was a lot closer than people thought it was going to be.
Really good game. Harden balled out, and the Wolves are a tough team. They got a really, really good young roster. I was actually surprised at the beginning of this year. Everybody was hyping the Wolves up pretty good, and I was surprised that they fell all the way to the 8th seed. But they had some injuries this year, whatever, and Butler didn't play really well. But they have a really good young talent with Karl Anthony Towns, with Andrew Wiggins. Jimmy Buckets is on there. They got a lot of Jamal Crawford comes off the bench. Derrick Rose is on there. So they got some guys, whatever. So, but Houston will sweep them.
Yeah, they will.
Houston will sweep them, and that's...
I'm going with that also. Houston will sweep.
That. Yeah.
So Jazz Thunder, the 4-5 matchup in the West. The Thunder won 116-108, so an 8-point game there. Thunder pulling out the victory.
In this series, I think Quinn Snyder's done a really good job coaching the Jazz, but I think the Thunder actually take this series either in a sweep or 4-1. They won the other night by 8, and Russell Westbrook was not their top scorer. It was Paul George who came out and scored 36. And then Carmelo came out with 15, 7 boards. Westbrook still almost got a triple-double, so he was 29, 13, and 8. So, I mean, there's people that have been calling out. I've heard some guys calling out, especially like Skip Bayless for sure. He thinks the Thunder are going to win the finals this year. Because he says Russell's going to elevate and just
ball.
I would not be surprised because I know how good Russell is, but I would be surprised if they won the finals.
Yeah. So I'm also going to go with the Thunder to win that series. So that caps your Game 1 action from the NBA playoffs, and like I said, we did hit the Game 2 that has completed tonight. With the Heat pulling back 1 against Philadelphia. The Warriors-Spurs is still going on. Is that in the first quarter break still?
Or on the second quarter. It's 27-23 Spurs.
Okay.
So I think they're if Draymond's hurt, which I haven't seen it, they're taking advantage of that. I guess Draymond. I think Draymond's hurt.
So Draymond might have an injury.
Marcus is smoking him, though.
But another big piece of news that happened this week over in the NFL, the Dallas Cowboys, my favorite team, released Dez Bryant on, I believe it was Friday, that he was released Friday morning. He went and met with Jerry Jones at the Star, the headquarters in Frisco, Texas. And from what I read on Twitter and I could gather, he was not offered a pay cut. He went in to talk to Jerry, and Jerry said basically, hey, we've reached a team decision. We think it's in the best interest of the Dallas Cowboys to release you. And, good luck with your future endeavors. So
it's the right move.
It is. From a business sense, it is the right move.
All right, so even if the thing about it is, even if you're you asked him to take a pay cut, what was he making? 12 a year?
No, 16.
Okay, so he's making 16.
He would have been the second highest paid receiver in the league.
First is
next year.
First is who? Just compare. Is Brown?
Antonio Brown probably, or Julio Jones.
Okay, there you go.
I mean,
are you even close? He's not anymore.
He's not close to either of those guys.
No more. We watched the game together, or we watched the game, or we talked. I texted you about a game. I can't recall exactly during the season, and I said something about a jump ball, because I hear Skip Bayless talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Dez gets the jump ball about 4 or 5 years ago, right? No more jump balls for this dude, right? You're paying him $16 million a year. That's a jump ball guy. Where you chuck it up and he's coming down. He's going to beat that corner up.
They call it the 50-50 ball. That they throw up. That Dez used to come down with them.
The stud,
way more than he didn't.
Your big stud receivers, your big body dudes.
They got to come down with those jump balls.
T.O. was really good at that.
T.O. was.
Randy was really good at that. Those are Hall of Famers, though. Those are Hall of Famers. Good move by the boys. The thing is, too, as far as because some people go, he's going to take a pay cut. You know what? This dude's making 16. Even if you somehow get him down to 8, guess what? He's still probably going to lead the league in drops.
Yeah.
Why are you going to pay a dude that much for
that? I mean, here's the deal.
You're better off with a rookie.
If you offer him a pay cut, I mean, how much are you going to ask him to take? How much is he going to be willing to take? I'm sure that somebody will sign him for 10 or 12 mil a year.
Yeah.
Somebody will give him 10 or 12. And me personally, as a Cowboys fan, I didn't want to see 10 or 12 million tied up in that one guy. And I'm not saying it's any fault of Dez Bryant's or Dak Prescott's, but I was watching some games from 14 the other day. They had them on NFL Network, and Dez never had the connection with Dak that he had with Romo. He never, and I'm not saying it's his fault, but some guys just don't gel with each other as well. And I mean, Dez just, and I don't know if it was his physical skills deteriorating, if maybe him and Tony spent more time together.
I was going to ask, do you think it was more of a chemistry thing or a physical skill thing?
Yeah, I don't know, but he just never had that connection. So since 2015, Dez Bryant's overall catch rate is under 50%. It's 49.7. Okay, with a minimum of 200 targets, that is the worst in the NFL.
How can you pay him?
So how can you pay him as a top-tier guy? Even a top 10 guy?
Well, how are you going to sign this guy, too? So there's a team out there, you know what, and I saw the list of teams today. There's 4 teams, I guess, that are interested.
Yeah.
None of them jumped out at me as anybody that's like a contender or anything like that. But yeah, I can't remember who exactly it was. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Yeah,
he made some kind of comment about see you twice.
Yes, allegedly,
Philly
that's a
contacted
rumor.
him.
Allegedly, that's a rumor that on his way out, he said, "I'll see you guys twice next year."
I mean, was he thinking Philly's gonna sign him? If he's gonna go,
I mean, the New York Giants do need a wide receiver. Washington needs a wide receiver.
I know. I feel like a really good fit if they don't have to pay him 12. If they could pay him 8, because he's gonna have to find a quarterback that's gonna elevate him, and that quarterback, I think Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
If he goes to the Packers, right? He goes to the Packers, and he just
the way Aaron Rodgers is so accurate with the deep ball.
That, and then also he gets into Aaron Rodgers is really good about spreading it around.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you end up just being hey man, get there. I'm going to throw it. The thing is, will they sign him though? He leads. I mean, he led the league.
I don't know.
He led the league in drops.
Well, no, he didn't lead the league last year. He had 6 drops in 2017. There were 4 players that had more. I don't know who those 4 players are.
So he's 5th.
He's 5th. So,
and I'm sure he had. Okay, and I saw a thing that said his targets haven't gone down.
No, his targets. I saw some stats too where his targets were the same in 14, which was when he had the career year.
So it's not like they're not throwing the ball to him.
No, so they were targeting him.
Oh yeah, I mean, of course, right? That's your big guy, so you target him. You make plays where he's your number one look.
So
your number one read.
I mean, as a Cowboys fan, if you take the business side out of it, I hate to see a guy like Dez Bryant who's been with the Cowboys for 8 years, his whole career. I hate to see him leave. I mean, I got his jersey hanging in the closet that's now useless. So the fan part of me hates it. But the guy who understands football and the business of football, it's the right move. You got to do it.
So how old is he? Is he
29.
Okay. He's about to get to that age where it's okay, dude. Some guys change up their style and they stay around. They stay around for a while after 30. Was a perfect example was Fitzgerald. Fitzgerald's not a jump ball guy anymore. Mm-hmm. He's learned to be a superb route runner, hands guy.
And some people are really on Jerry because Jerry has now cut from the Cowboys. He has cut Emmitt Smith back before Emmitt went to Arizona when he was the all-time leading rusher. He released Troy Aikman. He released Dez Bryant now.
Aren't those are
he
all?
Released
Those are
DeMarcus Ware.
All right,
Who then went to Denver and had a couple pretty good years.
He did.
But
okay. Besides Ware,
I mean, Emmitt had a couple decent years in Arizona.
it all depends on because I don't know.
But yeah, Aikman was done.
I don't remember what. Yeah, so Aikman was a good cut, right? He never played again.
No.
So I'm thinking with Emmitt Smith one. I don't know. I can't. Remember, I don't know the contract situations. What are you going to count for that? Like, dude.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Dude, you are not who you were. I cannot pay you.
And it was when Parcells came in, and there was that transition. But so some people are hating on Jerry about it. I was pretty young when all those other moves happened, but I think this is a good business move and is what's best for the Dallas Cowboys organization.
You got to do it. So, Chiefs did some this year. Derek Johnson, Tawahali. Mm-hmm. Eventually, he hit. Derek Johnson lasts to 35, which is crazy to me.
Yeah.
And he still played pretty good, just not worth what we were paying him. But he hasn't been signed anywhere.
Yeah.
The thing is, who wants to sign a 35-year-old linebacker?
Exactly.
Unless you were like, you know what? Unless you are a James Harrison freak, which he retired.
Mm-hmm. He did retire.
He's a great one.
Yep. So, all right. Well, anything else you want to touch on this show?
I think that's good, man. NBA playoffs are a really, really good time in sports. We got a lot. It's really fun to watch those games. A lot of the NBA guys treat the season like a marathon, which it is. And finally, I'll get you one more little score update.
Yeah, we'll get you one more score update. But next week, the show will be all about the NFL draft. We will do a mock draft, picks 1 through 10. So look
scores
forward to that.
Tied.
Scores tied. How much time in the second quarter?
We got 5 minutes.
5 minutes. Okay. So there you go. That's a live update as we're recording this at 10:30 on Monday evening. So, all right. Well, we will see you guys next week.
All right. Sounds good. See you later.
Remember, hit us up on all the social media at Midwest Mikes.
That's right.